Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week, Kevin. Hopefully, we've reached the top of the mountain.
Oh, I'd say you've reached your destination, at least within the R&D cube of Doctor and Scramble headquarters, because last time
On Critical Hit.
there it is, nice. Anyway, you had a nice conversation with Gordo, the moss monster, evidently also known as Gardoshalin Primus, according to Mr. Blue, an ooze scientist, it seems. Perhaps he is the creative that you guys have been searching for at the behest of your Jabubnin corporate sponsors.
Yes, but what color is his clean suit?
He does not have a clean suit, or it, because it's definitely genderless. It is all blue protoplasm with no organs whatsoever. It does have pseudopods, but Amu, you will get a life science check as a nat 20 as per your usual ability. And unlike normally, I'm going to tell you. So go ahead and let me know what that number is.
It would be a 35.
Okay, so unlike normally, I'm not going to read this one aloud. I'm instead going to whisper it to you in Roll20. So have fun reading that. For everybody else, the lab is, and Amu for that matter, is filled with strange equipment. There's a brilliant white pod that's a little larger than Vangie that has its doors open to reveal dozens of extended needles in a double helix design with colorful lights inside, like an Iron Maiden designed by Steve Jobs on a bad acid trip. There's a piece of optical equipment you're pretty sure you last saw in your nightmares, not to mention having seen the flying eyes around. There's a vat with some sort of smoldering yellow-green liquid that's giving off a mild caustic fume. And there's an operating table that must have been designed by a sadistic giant spider dentist. Yeah. Other than that, just normal, biogeneticist research lab.
Oh, other than that.
He wobbles in your direction and will say, I'm being held against my will, and my creative drive is harnessed by the foul corporate toads who run this place. Now tell me, are you here at their behest?
Sort of. We actually have a proposition for you.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm all ears. Not literally, of course. I don't have ears.
No, but I get what you're saying. Okay. Is there like a rolling chair?
Communicating. So to be clear, he's communicating via a voice modulator that is attached to that little tripod, and there's enough of the protoplasm. He seems to be able to move it to let it speak for him.
Okay. Is there like a rolling chair or something like that?
No, there seems to be many things that like creatures could be operated on or
strapped to.
Strapped to, yeah, exactly.
Okay. In that case, Hecubina's not going to sit down.
There's no place to sit here because it doesn't look like this thing sits. It seems to wobble awkwardly the way like a weird Jello monster does.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Maybe there could have been some vestigial sitting, but looks like this thing's been in here long enough that it's gotten rid of everything it doesn't need. So yeah, Hecubino will be like, so we were in fact asked by your employers, and he'll do big quotation marks, to inject you with some slave juice so that you'll get back to working for them the way they want. But we don't want to do that because, metaphorically speaking, we've been in similar situations, right? We're from Akaton, a place that was completely torn up by corporate interests and then abandoned. So we kind of know what it's like to be treated that way. Of course, not directly. We inherited our poverty. Anyway, we don't want to hurt you. Vangy here, my co-captain.
It waves a pseudopod at you.
Vengy nods.
Came up with an idea where maybe you and our nondescript biogeneticist can maybe fudge the slave juice in such a way that it looks like we gave it to you, and if it looks like you've in fact been subdued, it might give you the ability to then escape, right? Presumably, they have some sort of way of testing whether you have been subdued or not. So if we can, what's a good word for that? Spoof that. Maybe you can, maybe they can reduce their security on you, and you can escape later, and we can get what we want, which is they monies.
Oh, interesting. I applaud your collective initiatives. Yes, I suppose we still have to rely on primitive vocalization of phonemes for most of your communication, so suppose I'll continue to use this voice box. In any case, yes, you could perhaps more easily free me from these confines, and I make a replacement intelligence that isn't me, that will eventually break down because it isn't real. Well, it isn't self-sustaining. And we could simply inject it with the obedience serum, and the Jabubnans will merely believe that that is the researcher. They won't even know the difference, evolutionary errors that they are.
That seems pretty smart. And then they just think you died of despair.
Yes, that's also. My replacement will. Perhaps we can make some sort of vacuum leak. There is a few issues. So you're Hecubino and you're Vengi, and you gestures to Amu.
We are Amu.
Oh, excellent. And you two, Bob and Quentin.
Hi, I'm Bob Newman. Nice to meet you.
Of course. And then of course this one.
I'm Skurdic.
All right, yes, and you can call me. Well, my name is completely unpronounceable to all of you, and we don't normally speak, so I don't have a name you could say.
Mr. Blue?
Mr. Blue, yes, indeed. That will do nicely. So there are a few other issues with escape. They have me quite thoroughly imprisoned here. On my own, I will sublimate in the atmosphere of this planet, or indeed most atmospheres. If you provided me normally, my species moves around with our own portable force field generators that we designed to prevent just such an issue, but of course that has been stripped from me. However, I do happen to know the location of it. So if you could provide that, then we could be on our way.
Oh,
all right. Where is it located?
Well, so also I can assist you in a few other ways. First of all, have any of you considered pseudopods? Never
No.
mind. We anyway, we'll put that in the back of your minds for a moment. Regardless, these toads, they do all of their major computing in the cloud. By that I mean, of course, the cloud of tadpoles that are psychically fused together in the central processing hub.
Of course.
Of course, of course.
Certainly, we know.
It is that cloud that creates new toads when one of their corporate drones dies or otherwise reveals its genetic flaws past even their low standards. If I could have access to the cloud for even a few minutes, I could ensure that all of you receive the credits you need, whatever else it is, as well as my own safe release from captivity. I'm sure we could get free from here, and I can edit their databases and whatnot.
Can I try and see if it's being legit about all this?
Sure, make a sense motive check.
14, but it looks like I botched it.
Yeah, so you can't really tell. It doesn't seem to have many tells.
Sure.
So it's not, it's more that you don't know. It does seem to be offering a good deal for both of you. So it also definitely seems motivated. It does seem to want to leave here, but
Yeah.
Could it be hiding something? Sure, I guess.
Well, Hecubino starts thinking about himself with extra pseudopods and puts it out of his mind.
So I assume you have some way out of the cube. The force field, they will only lower. They control it completely from their side. So if we can make our way through the rest of the cube to wherever we could exit.
Well, our plan was that they were going to let us out when we said that we'd done the job. So it might be a little tricky for you to exit that way.
I mean, unless we can and Hecubino will start looking around, unless we can put you in a container or something.
How much of you has to be you?
What do you mean?
We and Amu let a number of coral chunks kind of fall apart from an arm and then reattach. Are many.
Yes, we're creating a collective intelligence composed of billions of microorganisms that transmit low-level electropsychic signals to comprise one concept of identity. Is that what you mean?
Mostly. Your body is, as far as we can tell, all one substance?
Yes, we are the perfected substance of protoplasm.
How much of that substance has to be available to be you?
If I lose too much, I will not be able to survive. It is all necessary, much like you.
Well, not all of us is necessary.
Well, if I got rid of 80% of you, you would die. I'm pretty sure. Call it an educated guess.
It'd be a new one.
What did this guy say he was made of? Protoplasm?
Yes. Now, technically, protoplasm is more of a colloquialism and not an appropriate term for the cellular makeup. But I am a multi-celled organism whose one cell is the same throughout, if you will. I don't have organs like you. In fact, I find that humans have far too many organs. Would you like me to remove some for you?
No, that's all right. If they realize that we're missing organs, they might get suspicious.
I think that those corporate toads won't really know anything about this because they're so hidebound, both in their bureaucratic corporatese nonsense and in the fact that they have a silly dermis layer.
Hey,
could you squish yourself into something, and then we could smuggle you out?
That is what we were kind of going for. Is what is the smallest?
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me get this all together. In order to even get you out, we need to go someplace that is not this cube and get a force field generator, right?
Well, hold on. Let me check real quick. I could fit through something perhaps this large and no smaller, and it changes one of its pseudopods into something. It's about basketball sized.
Everybody turns and looks at Quentin.
Intriguing. Yes, you're an android, are you not, Quentin?
I am, yes.
Well, of course. Then yes, I could make myself quite comfortable. I'm also a master of cybernetics, mind you. By inhabiting your systems, it might look like you're leaking, and we'd need to make some modifications. He gestures at the operating table.
What kind of modifications?
Oh, well, we'd need to expand him a bit.
I believe that statement would require some elucidation.
Your overall volume would need to increase.
What effects would that have on, his brain and functions?
Oh, I could leave those untouched.
Well,
Shrink it back later.
obviously that's up to you, Quentin. But it sounds like you're gonna get some extra space out of the deal.
Yeah, maybe your rifle won't be poking out your front.
Can you guarantee that my functions will continue?
Certainly. I mean, not indefinitely, but yes.
Unaltered?
Unaltered if that's the way you wish it.
I would prefer that my consciousness remain unaltered. Necessary modifications to my outer hull would be acceptable in this situation.
Okay, so let's just go with that for now, as far as discussing the plan. So, step one, Quentin gets some extra internal space. Mr. Blue gets in there. We smuggle him out of the cube. Oh, no. First, Mr. Blue creates a secondary ooze.
A pseudopod, if you will.
That we then...
I have had that, cooking just in case for some time. It's one of my backup projects.
Okay, so we get that, inject that with the
Control
with the
serum.
slave juice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then we all go to the extraction area, tell them to let us out. They'll probably then provide us with a force field generator, right? If we were to take you out, they know that you can't survive out there without the force field, right?
Well, the issue is they wouldn't know that we're bringing him out, considering he's hiding inside of Quentin.
Yeah, but wouldn't we be bringing out the fake one?
I don't think we're supposed to bring out the fake one. I think we're just supposed to stop the fake one with the juice.
Oh, I see. I thought the idea was to walk him back out.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. So then, yeah, I guess we just smuggle you out.
And then what happens to guarantee that the organization is going to sponsor us to get back into the race?
Well, that was the deal, is that we do this thing and they have a, obedient creative.
But if I'm understanding what Mr. Blue wants to do, you want to kind of take control of these guys right away. Correct, Mr. Blue?
Well, I would like to be out of here as soon as possible.
No, well, how about you just get out of here with us, and then we take the corporate sponsorship, and then your thing later fails, and that's not our fault.
Exactly. Oh, a corporate sponsorship. Again, if you let me to their cloud, I can ensure that. That's easy enough.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was part of the agreement.
Of course. I don't particularly care. I've made...
Okay.
And you're not going to try to take us over, correct?
Take you over? No.
make us really dumb, obedient servants?
Oh, well, I suppose. I am more concerned with my own safety and the escape from this place than I am of turning you into a servitor. I think that both our goals will be accomplished much better this way. So I see no need to introduce any type of deceit or backbiting.
Okay. All right. So then we just need to figure out a way to get Mr. Blue to the cloud. What do you guys think about us just being like, golly, can we see the cloud? Because these guys seem pretty proud of themselves.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, so
But
maybe
how
if
would we know
we're
about the cloud?
I mean, we could definitely try that as plan A.
yeah, the cloud's not a secret, is it? It's Mr. Blue.
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah,
It would
so
demonstrate an above average knowledge of Jabubnin corporate computing, but
well, they're our sponsor, so we can. If anybody asks, I'll tell them that I didn't ask to begin with because I didn't know what the protocols were. But now that we're shaking on it, I would really like Quentin and I definitely would like to see the cloud.
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating.
right. So while all of this is happening, you feel a small tap at the back of your thigh.
I look over there.
There's a small tendril of coral resting on your thigh.
Ho ho ho.
Amu, again, in the way that he so make a quick sense motive check.
Okay. Sense motive. 22.
Amu is deliberately not looking at you, and if he could whistle, he'd be going.
Yeah,
"Doo-doo-doo."
I get it. I will open a connection with Amu.
Thank God.
No, and by the way, everybody else, as soon as that happens, like they're in a little bit of a time freeze because of how fast his mind leak can go. So, Amu, what do you say?
We can't trust Mr. Blue.
Oh, whoa. One at a time.
A lot of minds.
Yeah, there's a bit of a panicking going on in Amu's mind right now. Amu's minds.
Yep.
Hive mind. Anywho, after a moment of focus, this creative is a Thorgothrel. They are dangerous at best. We cannot trust it, and we don't know that releasing it is good for the rest of reality.
Oh.
How
long have you been sitting on that one?
As soon as we got in the room.
Okay. Let me see. I gotta look something up real quick.
Since you have all the time in the world, Amu, why aren't they good for reality?
Yeah.
So the reason why Gordo and the Jabubnins are having problems is atavistic regression, which is something that these creatures do to anything that's not their species to make them go feral. Back to primal forms. All known Thorgothrels are racist, eugenicists, and a lot of them are mass murderers who've made 3 of the last 5 plagues themselves.
3 of the last 5 plagues?
Yeah.
Like multi-galaxy spanning
like
engineered plagues.
Oh. Okay. Well, we definitely can't get him get a hold of Quentin then. Okay.
He's taking measure. Well, I guess we're in time freeze. That's right.
Yeah. All right. I will try and pass that info. I mean, what do you think we should do? Should we just try and hit him with the slave juice? And because the Jabubnans having access to this is also bad.
You are, as usual, correct.
Oh, thank you.
But
you're learning to suck up, Amu. Good job.
We are?
Yeah, I'm usually correct.
Okay. But we understand we need his help. And the Jabubnans, as far as we can tell, the Jabubnans only use Mr. Blue to create products. While we are opposed to the slavery.
So now that you've realized what it is we're dealing with, what are the odds that we can just jump it and beat it into submission?
Well, Vangie can't use her lance spear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vangie can't use her stick. It's immune to cold.
Okay.
And electricity. We might be able to.
I mean, if we kill it, then we don't get anything. So, our only two options is to either do what the Jabubnans say or do what it says, right?
It is safer to leave it with the Jabubnans.
Okay, so what I'm asking is, what is the likelihood that we'll survive the 6 seconds or so that it'll take you to, get into position and hit it with a syringe?
So the scariest bit, Amu, just to go, because I don't know that I give you enough information on this, is that atavistic resequencing. Anyone hit by that, that's going to be pretty bad, which it can inflict with a touch.
If we can get at it without being touched, we're good. But the atavistic regression is something that they can just do by touching.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Because I need to convey this information to everyone else.
If we can adjust the atmosphere, it may sublimate. Though.
Yeah, but if we don't leave it to the Jabubnans, we're out of luck.
If we can adjust the pressure in the right way, we might be able to subdue it without killing it.
Okay. Okay. All right. I am going to convey this to everyone else. And change the plan to that. Anything else?
We wish there was some way that didn't involve this.
Yes, your empathy is noted, Amu. Hecubino, since he's probably right next to Vangie, and presumably there's still a conversation going on, will just lean up against her.
All right, so let's go back to that conversation. Where did we leave off?
Were we talking about whether the cloud was
the
workings secret, and if we could just get him and Quentin to go check it out?
Sure. Yeah. But it will continue speaking momentarily while you try to surreptitiously touch Vangie. It will say, "Yes, I've made countless inventions and formulae for this dreary company. There's my artificial skin for burn victims and disguise kits. Shame that caused psychosis. My appetite inducer spray that caused uncontrollable auto-cannibalism, though who am I to judge your bizarre consumption taboos?
Do any of your inventions not have horrific side effects?
Well, my aphrodisiac contraceptive. I knew that one would cause permanent sterility. That was on purpose. Anyway, the point is I've done so much for this company.
I know, it's a shame that they're just keeping you here.
I feel like these two deserve each other. I do not say that out loud.
You can tap Vanky at this time.
Okay. I will convey to. I'll try and convey all of the information that Amu just gave me.
Oh man, try to be nice. Is what we get.
No, and I want you to know that that I was probably ready to take a much harder approach, and when you pulled me aside, it really made me reconsider. So I don't want you to I don't want this to harden you. I think it's important that that we don't lose sight of who we are in this rocket ride to fame, which we keep sidetracking and nearly blowing up ourselves.
Well, thanks, Hercubito. I'll give you a hug when we're not in the presence of potential genocidal genius.
Okay.
What's the play?
The play I think is
regressed.
Yeah, the play is we're not supposed to touch it. So I think Amu is going to dart it, and the rest of us are going to keep it from trying to kill Amu while simultaneously not being touched by it, which might not happen and might be really bad, but
Can we do the sublimating thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Bob and Quentin and see what they got as far as that.
All right, because that seems like probably the safest bet. Maybe we can talk about if it sublimates. Will it reform slowly later?
Yeah. Also, is there going to be something for us to hit with the dart if it sublimates?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Keep in mind also the dart is a giant, spinal needle.
Yeah,
we kind of need it to be already subdued to use the dart. Was the impression I got.
Yep, that's fair.
Does Amu have to use it like in melee, or is it a thing where the thing has to be subdued?
Amu could probably use it in melee. It would be tricky though. It would be it would be hard for him to do. It would be much easier. It'd be like giving an epidural to somebody involuntarily in melee. Although this thing is an ooze, so it's not like you have to get the right vertebra.
Right. Every cell is identical. And Amu is trained with syringes, so that's gotta count for something. I guess what it counts for is he doesn't get an additional -4 penalty to try and hit this thing in melee.
Yep.
Okay. I'll surreptitiously try to how you pose for a picture, I'll get one arm around Bob and one arm around.
So are you breaking contact with Vanky at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. When you do that, you kind of snap to because it's always hard to keep your focus on too many things at once. Sure. And it seems like Mr. Blue is looking at you, and it will say, "Hecubino."
Yeah.
I see you are a psychic.
Yeah, had a real fun ride there with your Nishalora. Is that right, Amu?
Oh yes,
we think so.
Okay, yeah.
I have of course. Quentin, why don't you go ahead and hop on the table, and I'll start with the preparation routine. But Hecubino, out of curiosity, would you like to be more psychic?
More psychic. Let me think about that.
Well, let me just make my offer here. What you think of as willpower is really just an emotion controlled by your limbic cortex. By enlarging it and ensuring appropriate blood and electrical flow patterns, I'm confident I could increase your psychic potency. There would be a small price, however. You would never be able to have children.
You know what? the main thing I would say is I gotta reread the Drifter's contract on biological and cybernetic adaptations mid-season. But if we get into business, I might come back for that.
Ooh, excellent. Why don't you make a bluff check?
26.
Oh, and in case you're curious, the genetic procedure would sterilize you, not because it has anything to do with that, but because I don't think there should be any more humans in the world. And I personally think voluntary sterilization is the most humane method.
You know what? I get your stance. I don't entirely disagree with it.
Oh, and Vangi, you look like you're on a high protein diet.
Yeah.
Well, your muscle tissue would break down excellently for the purposes of plasma generation. I don't suppose you'd be willing to make a donation. I could arrange for an excellent compensation package. I would just need your next of kin contact information.
Well, I guess my next of kin would be Hecubino, but I'm liking my muscle tissue where it is. Thanks, though.
Very well, very well.
So the moment that his attention turns to Vangi, I'm going to look like I'm ushering Quentin over to the table and try to touch Bob, Quentin, and maybe even Skritic if he's close enough.
Let's see. I will give Skritic a sense motive check to see if he can pick up what you're laying down.
Don't worry, guys. If we make it to level 11, I'll be able to do this without touching you.
24?
Actually, you can. So if you can think up a plausible reason to go touch he's clearly trying to touch people. And he kind of looks at you meaningfully.
It looks like you're having a little bit of trouble with your hover functions there, Quentin. Let me help.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he touches Quentin, I touch Quentin, and I'll be like, oh, excuse me, Bob, and then we'll get into the zone.
Get into the zone?
All right.
Oh, hey, Team Co-Captain Hecubino.
Hey, guys. So Amu had a revelation about Mr. Blue.
Was it when he was talking about sterilizing and killing all humans?
Is it that he's clearly evil and has some sort of ulterior motives at all times?
Is it that if he touches us, we get recombobulated into some kind of dumb Gordo?
Listen, guys, I need you to understand that wanting to kill people, wanting to like alter people and having the ability to alter people made you evil, about 2/3 of this team would be evil.
Okay.
No. We know, or Amu is certain that this is a genocidal, homicidal base creature, and that it's almost certainly lying to us. And if we let it get out, it's going to be worse than if the Jabubnans just have it here making soap and, makeup for them.
So what's the plan?
Well, we're going to try to hit it with the slave juice.
Okay, so you need distraction. I could hack the system and maybe distract the Mr. Blue so that
actually what I
Amu
really
can
need
sneak
you
up from him from behind and stab him.
And we're going to try that, although I don't think Amu's sneaking. But what I really need you to do, Bob, and Quentin, if you can help, and Skritic, if you can help, although honestly, Skritic, you might be better off just darting and hiding, is to see if you can change the moisture in this room and see if we can get him to sublimate a little bit. Right? Does that mean he's like more gas or less gas?
More gas.
More gas.
Okay, yeah.
And I think you meant pressure, but yes.
Let's go with that. We need to go. You need to take us to STP.
The only problem is these computers have a lot of dangerous viruses in them, as we saw earlier.
Yeah. We also, can't let them touch us, and are going to have to, have no real like combat preparation ahead of this. So, be careful. Try not to have your brain exploded by its countermeasures. Just work together.
Quentin, do you have distracting hack?
No. But I do have the ability to create a distraction.
Do you have an energy shield?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think those are all.
We'll hack the system.
Okay. There's almost certainly going to be some sort of big thing to kick this off. So once that happens, get on the system. Unless you can start hacking it.
I can start hacking it now. I have remote hack.
All right, then do that. But wait until I'm disconnected from your brain, just so we don't take out half the team if something goes wrong. All right. Anything else?
Quentin, you have remote hack too, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a mechanic thing.
Okay.
Or what are they called? Engineers?
Mechanic engineer, yeah.
Yeah, you're that's from your class.
Yep. All right. Let's do this. I'm ready.
All right.
My processors start to kick into overdrive. I start putting up all of my firewalls and antiviruses. I even dig into the archive and pull out some rare antivirus programs, subroutines.
I wait just a split second to break the connection because I'm actually very interested in what the exocortex looks like from the inside.
Oh, it's like a bright shining star that just gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and instead of planets orbiting it, there's like little tinier suns that just start spinning and spinning and spinning faster and faster and faster.
Oh, it's full of stars.
It is full of stars.
All right, I'll break off.
And also from like a psychic standpoint, it's like, what if you could take up a question? They're like, man, I don't really know how to do this. It seems like hard and complicated. Okay, back of my brain, you work on this problem. Get back to me when you have it. And the back of your brain's like, okay, deal. And then your back of your brain like hyper processes it in the background, and it's like, boom, calculations complete. This is what you need to know. It's like, cool, thanks, back of my brain.
Wow,
it's pretty cool.
That seems very handy.
For goods and services.
Do I see any kind of a local terminal?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It works on local terminals.
All right.
So, as soon as Hecubino breaks it, let's start with Bob. What are you doing?
I'm going to attempt to do a remote hack onto the system and see if I can access the environmental subroutines to increase the atmospheric pressure in the room.
Great. So you'll start working on that. It, by the way, is continuing to talk. So I'll provide color commentary as we go. It is gesturing for for Quentin to get up on the operating table as it believes that that's the plan, and is ready to engage in modifications. Skritic, what are you doing?
I will kind of make my way to the backside of the table, and help in the guise of helping Quentin there, and kind of duck behind it and try to disappear.
Sure.
Get her away.
Yeah. Okay. So, real quick, Bob, give me that computer's check, and Skritic, why don't you make me a stealth check?
31.
Ooh, now that's a good check. Stealth 22, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yep, it's not bad. It's not the best I've seen out of you. So, actually, at that, so first, let's deal with Bob and his computer check. It's remote hack. It's you actually have to hack a few different layers here. Because it's supposed to have only controls for a limited set of theoretically it could make an atmospheric pressure that would kill itself, but the Jabubnans really tried to disable that. You think that Mr. Blue, after going through some of this code, has already disabled all of those checks because he just disabled all of their computer checks that he has access to. The good news for the Jabubnans is that like they're hard, using air as a separator and like no internet connection and no signals in or out seems to have saved them. So the fact that he's already hacked this machine completely didn't let him have access to anything further out. Now, the more relevant thing, obviously, the nasty AI, blue ice, we'll call it, that comes attacking for you to find your weaknesses. You know that's basically staying ahead of those and accomplishing your task before they catch up to you. You have so far logged on and made your connections and started getting into the database and getting into secure passwords and stuff pretty quickly. So it's just a matter of when will that catch up to you. Right now, you're leading the way. It's going great.
Great.
Skritic.
I am playing Tempest. It's just like Tempest.
Skritic, Mr. Blue seems to notice you and actually looks at you briefly and says, Skritic, you appear to be a Yosoki, is that right?
Yeah, last I checked.
Yes. Filthy creatures, scavengers, really. Surprisingly hard to eradicate. And I should know. Some Thorgorthelians call all humanoid life vermin, whereas some restrict it to humanoids whose evolutionary dendritic path originates from arthropods or small mammals. Now tell me, which do you prefer? Is it offensive to, say, call a human vermin, as opposed to restricting that term for Yosoki? I'm interested in your thoughts.
Well, it ain't exactly flattering none any which way.
I see.
Is there a restroom around here?
Oh, no.
Well,
I expel my waste into my experiments.
Good to know.
I suppose the whole cube could be considered a restroom.
I guess I'll hold it then.
Quentin, what do you do?
Well, when Skritic said that my hover jet seemed to be out of whack, I actually began sort of leaning and erratically kind of hovering. And I'm now going to bluff malfunction, unable to comply. And Quentin starts opening and closing like that mask that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get rest from the chicken voices in my head. I can see you're very upset, Dave. So I'm going to bluff a huge malfunction while trying not to get touched by the Slorg Oozer.
Okay. Technically, it'd be more accurate to call him a Thorg Oozer, because he is a Thorgothrelian.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but Slorg just sounds so debonair. James Slorg, pleased to meet you.
Make that
so
bluff.
Do I need to roll the bluff check? Okay.
Yeah.
17. Ooh, not my best bluff.
Yeah, no, it's not. Let's see.
You should sit down calmly and take a stress.
That did not work.
Oh,
no. No more. Oh.
Deviled eggs are tasty. Deviled eggs are tasty. Deviled eggs are tasty.
Please stop with whatever it is you're trying to do. You know, I'm a master of engineering and computers. I can tell a real reboot from a real mechanical failure from some sort of diversion, if that's what you're attempting. Here, allow me to make my adjustments. And he reaches towards you with his pseudopod.
Yeah. Well, let's retroactively, real reboot is the catchphrase.
Boom, go!
Yep.
Okay, so why doesn't everyone roll for initiative?
24.04.
Oh no!
Oh, nice, Amu.
Why now?
That was a good roll, Bob.
Man, with the exception of Steven, the dice have really been killing us.
Wait, what am I doing?
Initiative.
That's not right.
Initiative.
My initiative
Seems
is
a
4
little
lower than that, so 14.
And I'm missing.
Venki?
No,
You got a Venki.
I'm missing nobody except for the bad guy. Cool. The Mr. Blue.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Bob, you are actually the first to react as you see the pseudopod reach out towards Quentin. What do you do?
Shoot him in the face.
No.
You're already in the computer system. Your plan was working.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and continue that. Although I'm trying to understand how distracting hack works, because do I have feint?
So anyone can feint.
Oh, okay. All right.
Feint is just an ability that anyone can do.
Yeah, so I was looking at distracting hack because I can do something that will cause a sudden noise or an image to appear that will distract the foe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, then I want to do that. I want all of a sudden, for even though I'm still hacking the system, trying to actually access the
Climate controls.
the biometric controls, I'm going to have some alarm go off that says vacuum pressure or atmospheric evacuation in process.
Okay. So normally a feint, by the way, is a bluff check, but
Right.
this it'll be your computer's check. So
Correct.
go ahead and roll a computer check.
27.
Oh wow, that is quite good. So its sense motive is only okay. It's CR 15 plus half. That's what's going to be higher, but you still do succeed. So it is flat-footed for your next attack. Yeah, I'll just actually say it's flat-footed in general to the party.
Okay.
As it definitely seems concerned about that alarm.
I'll continue to hack the system.
Awesome. Why don't you give me one more computer check?
22.
All right. Blue ice is definitely catching up to you now. You can tell it's it's still in its early stages of evolving against your particular mind, but and your weaknesses. But it will eventually get through. You think you need to get one more really good check before you have access to the controls.
Okay.
So, Skritic.
So Mr. Blue is flat-footed, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's a -2 penalty.
Yeah, it's easier to hit him. And let's see, is there anything else that flat-footed does?
I mean, if it brings out,
also can't take reactions or make attacks of opportunity.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if it actually brings down his KAC, that might be helpful for Ammo.
It does, both K and E.
Can I do some sort of assist to try to distract him to make it even easier for Amu to?
Yeah, you could give Amu an assist if your plan is to, either you could use some of the lab equipment around here. You could. There's a lot of things you could do that would either distract him, or you could get around just behind him and like stab at him. It's up to you how you want to assist, but yes, assist is a perfectly valid action. You can assist.
Sorry. Creatures are cooperative, so using aid another to assist them gives you a +2 bonus to your check.
Oh, okay. So, I think I'm going to be just kind of hop up on a counter and just start chucking various vials towards Mr. Blue and
nice.
Just kind of egg him on and just keep darting, try to stay out of reach while, just constantly just throwing stuff, not really concerned about causing damage, just being annoying and distracting.
Why don't you make a ranged attack then?
Okay. So 11?
Unfortunately, that won't succeed. Even with a +2, that's still below the threshold.
Fair enough. Darn these
That's a pretty
Virtual
bad
dice.
roll.
Yeah. All night. Man.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Did I go to Skritic next for some reason?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you skipped me.
I totally messed up the initiative here. Whoops, Vangie, you're up.
So she is going to try to like leap back to keep this thing out of touching distance from her, while it's not, capable of taking an attack of opportunity, and will pull out her burner and start trying to cook it.
All right, blast away. Make your attack roll with your Freet class burner flamethrower.
Got a 21 to hit his EAC.
Flat-footed EAC, yeah, that's going to do it.
And take 15 damage.
Ooh, it does not care for that. It's not super strong physically, so that definitely burns it. The room's temperature suddenly spikes as the flamethrower is being used in a room the size of like somebody's living room. So that's always fun, and it has this weird smell, and it starts reacting with some of the chemicals around, like the vat nearby of caustic chemicals.
Oh, it doesn't seem great.
And then it's Mr. Blue's turn. That's so unfortunate. All I want is to help genetic material achieve its greatest purpose, whatever that may be, which is always protoplasm. I mean, who wouldn't want to be this? Then he wobbles around unsteadily, shaking his pseudopods and protoplasm at you. But it's clear. I don't think you're ready, Jelly. And then it will attack. Let's go with Vangie with pseudopod.
Oh no! Well, I moved out of melee, so how far is it?
Okay, well, it'll attack Skritic with his pseudopod.
Oh no!
All right, here we go. Skritic, you're hit, and you're gonna take 21 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And give me a fortitude save.
My worst save. 18?
So you feel something, its plasm hits your skin, and it starts to part of it starts to crawl on your skin, and then it just sinks into it weirdly, it's like your skin just absorbed it like suntan lotion. And your initial impulse is just to immediately rip off the afflicted skin. Do you?
Sure.
All right, great. Then you make your save, and you take an extra 6 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
That skin was not worth keeping. All right.
Is that still just stamina damage?
Let's say that's 6 hit points, just for fun.
Sounds reasonable.
That brings up Quentin.
Yes.
Well, it seemed to call your bluff.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's bad. So Vangie just lit it on fire.
Yep, a bit.
Does it seem to be in any way fireproof like every other thing on this freaking moon?
No, actually, it's not fireproof.
Set it on fire. Wait. Can it touch me?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
If I set it on fire, though, will it be able to touch me more?
No.
Okay. So yeah, I think I will probably stop flailing about and yelling random nonsense.
Thank goodness.
Yep. And I'm going to yell, Line 10, attack. Line 20, go to 10.
So a
And
basic attack.
Steven gets it.
Oh,
I love you, man. You're old and you're mean, but by God, you're a smart human being. I ruined it, didn't I?
That was my one.
That was your one.
All right. Go for it. Make your attack there.
I am in awe of Steven right now, you guys. That was 2 in a row. Crab cakes. How about a 10?
No.
These are bad number. Who
That's a
broke
2
the
on the
dice?
die.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Who broke the dice?
I would typically blame you.
No, I don't break dice.
It'll turn to you at that blast and go, we Thorgrithelians have a role in mind for androids in our grand society. Of course, we'd need to extract all your biological components and replace them with inhibitor bolts and restraining chips, but you could still be you. Isn't that nice of us?
I believe it was the great philosopher Plato who said, "Eat me, you giant ooze."
Oh no. That's quite disgusting.
Indeed.
All right. So, Hecubino.
All right. Wait, is Amo actually slower than me? Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Rob rolled
That
a
is-
3.
Which
and
made
he's got a penalty.
Yep. I rolled a 1. Okay, I'm going to try to get into its brain.
All right.
And attempt a command.
Very well. What do you attempt to command?
I'm going to mechanically. This is a halt to daze him for 1 round, or daze it for 1 round.
Okay. And what? How do you convey that?
I am actually going to try to find a more sort of mechanical place in the mind, like the like for us, like the spine or whatever, something that is more in charge of like motor function rather than.
So it seems to have a part of its body that's connected to that there's an actual metal artificial tripod inside it
machine.
basically is its spine and also its voice modulator. So there's parts of its body that hold on to that. That's probably the closest thing.
So I'll go there, and then I will replay the glory that is the exocortex into it.
Nice. Okay.
So that'll be a saving throw with this is a 1st level spell, so that'll be the difficulty 16.
This thing actually seems to have a fairly iron will.
I bet it does.
So it deflects your mental assault with it seems to have some training in how to do this. It just presents a unified field of blue, just blue everywhere. And then you realize it's telepathic. And it telepathically connects with you, though it still comes across roughly as language. But it's also broadcasting just blue. And it will say, it will think at you, blue is simply the best color, both in nature and to be. The color of the ocean and the sky. While we Thorgrithelians long ago abandoned unnecessary optical organs, we do retain a sensitivity to pigments via our hyperspectral cellular cilia. I consider myself to be sky blue. But in my darker moods, I can tinge towards azure. Now, those turquoise Thorgrithelians, practically heretics, should probably be purged. We have a strict saying among Thorgrithrel: only blue lives matter. Specifically Thorgrithelians. Not, other blue creatures.
Oh, yeah? We'll try black and blue. And I will use my backlash ability. Whenever a foe succeeds at a will save against one of your spells and completely negates the effect, that foe takes 1 non-lethal damage for each mystic level you have. There's a mind-affecting pain effect. So take 6 non-lethal damage.
Oh. That's annoying.
Mind-breaking.
Amu.
Oh boy, finally. The syringe is a melee weapon, is it not?
It is.
Well, that's helpful. Does a charge give a bonus to attack?
That's a good question. It did in Pathfinder. It's one of those things. There's so many little differences between editions. It's easier sometimes just to check. So, no. Looks like no.
No? Okay. Then we'll sidle on up and poke at the
In fact,
closest pseudopod.
You seem to take a penalty. Wow. How about that? -2 penalty.
Oh, you see
Weird.
-2? Because I see something much higher.
Attacking on a charge?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, no, you can make 2 attacks if you want to take a -4 penalty. Sorry.
Well, sure, yeah.
You can take 4 attacks if you want a -8 penalty.
Does Amu's grapple stick allow him to grapple him without touching him?
Yes.
Right,
Would that give any additional bonus to the injection?
Absolutely. He might need somebody else to hold the stick.
Does he have reach?
He does with the stick, yeah.
Okay.
Stick has reach, but I don't think the syringe fits into the stick.
No. I think Hecubino was kind of making, or Rodrigo rather, was kind of making a intimation that you could use the capture pole to grab him, and then we could hold him down, and then you'd have an easier time with with injecting him.
He's already flat-footed, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
We could. I think we just want to try this and. Yeah.
You can certainly dive for it if you want. I will say, because it is a big, awkward weapon that you have to kind of inject precisely, it does impart a -4 penalty on your attack roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I was it's kind of awkward. So you can still definitely melee attack it, but it's a little hard.
So it's not a weapon.
Well, it's not designed to be a weapon. No, it's a massive needle.
Okay, yeah, we're going for the grapple then. Did we get any other bonuses besides him being flat-footed?
No, Skritic whiffed his
Okay.
his distracto attack.
Oh, we're gonna try and use the capture pole to hold this guy in place. Oh, that's great. That's a 10.
It bats it aside easily.
Yeah.
All right. That's a shame, Amu. As a collective intelligence, you could have been able to integrate into the Thorgorthelian Ooze Collective relatively intact. I mean, how do you feel about the color blue?
Blue is fine. Wiping out the rest of the sapients, not so much.
Everyone gets so hung up about that. Oh well.
I'm gonna have to push my computers and try to finish hacking this system.
Oh no, you're going into overdrive.
I guess.
Oh,
crappity crap.
Oh boy,
that was a fail right there. Thanks, Brian, for saying, "Oh, everybody but Steven is rolling crap tonight." Now I rolled a 1. There, you happy? Thanks.
Cosmic balance from your initiative roll, I guess.
Yes.
For those of you keeping track from the players, the last 3 rolls have been a 2, a 3, and a 1.
Yeah, and there was
just wrap around,
earlier.
right?
You guys have not.
This has been a rough night for us.
Yeah.
That means we're due for one good one, right?
These dice need an
Just go for the
Wow.
one, Jamu.
That's not how statistics work, Brian.
You're due. That's how it works.
This is
okay.
this is
That's
why
totally
I
fine.
made a character that doesn't roll.
Well,
All right,
I kinda
so
made
my,
one that needs to
my-
roll
Wait.
twice.
So, so technically, this is a little bit of bending the rules, but I think it's just perfect considering how much it's come up here. So you have, let's see here, in your exocortex, the memory module.
Yes.
So I will say that you can use your once per day reaction to
Reroll.
re-roll that failed check.
Okay. So my exocortex spins back up and says, "Oh no, that's the wrong pathway. Go back out and go a different way."
Yep.
19.
Much better? Well,
It's much better, but not better. Not the roll I was hoping for.
It's better. So basically, your exocortex is like, wait, you will lead yourself right into the path of the blue ice, and it will shatter us. So don't do what you're doing.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, cool. So you're able to like change the direction of your hacks, basically, like the path you're going down, but it's not good enough. Like you're still you haven't achieved your objective yet.
All right.
So you didn't botch, but you didn't succeed.
All right. Yeah, I'll just try to be like stunned and look like I'm stunned in all of this sudden attacks that are going on to try to avoid the gaze of Mr. Blue.
Griddick.
wow. I go again. I think I'm just going to try to back up even more and provide some cover fire. Just hope that Amu can get a good jab in there and end this whole thing.
Sure. So that would be another ranged attack.
Okay.
Jeez, man. That's another 3.
Yeah, it is.
Brutal. Bow, bow, bow. It doesn't move and yet seems to have dodged. So, would you like to move or do anything else?
Yeah, back up away, far away. As far as like.
All right. So that's going to bring up Vangie.
She'll say, I really wanted to cut a deal with you, but you do seem like an absolute psycho. So this seems like the right thing to do, and she'll blast him again.
Cool.
Only a 13.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing.
Another 3. By the way, on Bob's reroll, he rerolled a 1 into a 4.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
What was the last roll you guys had that was, I guess, Scritic's fortitude save? That was above a 10.
That was a 15.
I mean, I rolled an 11 on my last attack.
There you go. Yeah, that was a while ago. That was a round ago.
Yeah.
So you flamethrower all around, but not at it. Yes, my protoplasm is surprisingly durable.
It is surprising.
Like, well, we think that this was actually it's closer than I thought.
So that will bring up the Thorgorthelian.
Not great.
It's difficult being a genius. I've created 67 new chemical compounds for mass market consumption with a mere 12 galaxy-wide recalls to my credit. I've also invented 19 species, 3 of which can be purchased as pets and or security systems. Why does everyone always obsess about the natural urge for my Thorgorthelian people to correct the errors of evolution? I just don't understand.
Don't you really when you think about it?
Well, maybe I should say that you don't appreciate that if left unchecked, all of this this messy evolution you humanoids get up to will lead to the destruction of everyone and everything. We're the only stable state. It then wobbles its pseudopods at you. I'm the most stable. And then it's going to pseudopod. Oh, let's go with. You seem to be attempting to hack my systems.
No, I'm not.
It wobbles over to Bob and whacks him.
Are there immediate interrupts in this game? I guess I don't have any.
Reactions. There are reactions.
Yeah, I guess I don't have any. The only thing I can.
Is anyone wielding a melee weapon? Amu.
Yeah.
Amu is. Yeah, you can make an attack of opportunity as your reaction.
Stab him.
It doesn't seem to consider you much of a threat after last time.
Uncritical hit.
Okay. Can we load in a class thing?
I'm sorry, what?
An inhibitor. I couldn't remember
a boost. Yeah, inhibitor boost.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he's gonna get a -2 to his AC.
-2 to AC, and so you get a +2 bonus. So you can just grapple it as part of that, and you did hit it even with that you hit its higher KAC. So you could have it held in your capture roll. And you can apply your inhibitor boost as well. You won't deal damage, but I don't think that matters to you,
That's not
right?
what Amu does. Do no harm.
So you've grappled it, which actually keeps it from getting to Bob to
thank you.
him.
Thank you.
Yeah, because it definitely had a hit on the die. And as a result, it actually goes to first Mr. Blue is like, what is this? Oh, no, that's just, this won't do it all. And it starts to you realize, unlike even most oozes, he's more slow and awkward than an average ooze. He doesn't have, yeah, I know. He can slowly drip through the capture pole, as opposed to being immune to being grappled the way a normal amorphous creature would be. It does not have compressible or any of those special cool traits. It's just a big awkward jelly.
It's just a blancmange.
Quentin, what do you do?
Well, first I insult him. Oh, did you want me to do that?
Yeah.
You don't understand why anyone would stand against you when you're nothing but an amorphous, supercilious, pontifical, bespalling boboline.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to shoot him.
Oh, snap.
That's right. I'm going to shoot him with flames from the side of my face. Actually, I'm going to shoot him with a plasma rifle from the side of my orbs. And I'm going to have to remember what my attack bonus is. And I'm going to roll another 10 because it's crap.
Jeez.
That's another 2. That's another 2. Okay. There's something wrong with the dice, gentlemen and lady.
Amu seems to disagree. He rolled a 19 that last roll.
You can't trust Amu. There's 115 million of them. Well, I miss, but he's still an amorphous pontifical boboline.
Impressive, considering you don't have access to an infosphere from here. You must have downloaded a vocabulary enhancer.
Maybe I downloaded your mother.
I find that highly unlikely. Thoragrothelian reproduction is fascinating, however, if you wish me to explain it to you.
No, thank you.
Yes, please.
No!
We're still Amu.
Well, first we have to harvest all the spare plasm from the last purge. Anyway, Hecubino.
Let's try another command. but it'll be the same command. Let's see. Yep, so that'll be difficulty 16. I'm going to try to daze them. And I guess this time, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to use its cellular nature against it. So I'm going to take something like a thought that's like, huh? What's that thing over there? And just like basically plant it and let it like copy itself to each cell and like basically diffuse throughout the neural structures.
Ooh, I like that. So you try to diffuse your attack into each individual cell. And what's the command you're giving again?
It's halt, so
Okay.
that should
To stop
daze it.
Yep. And the cells react to your sudden onslaught, and then they kind of coalesce, and you see momentarily a field of blue, and then it goes green, and you're thrown into a vision of Arshalan, or Ardashalan, or no, it's Arshalan. Arshalan is the name of the planet you're on.
We're on. Yeah.
And there is a massive tree, like miles wide, and you realize it's not even a tree, it's a composite. It's made up of hundreds of thousands of vines and plant creatures, and it's a like nexus of energy for the area, and it seems to be able to react to things miles away, and it communicates with all of the animals in the surrounding area, and it seems to have a near planet-wide scale of influence, at least maybe many miles beyond your ability to easily conceive inside your mind, and it along with this, there's a little narration from Mr. Blue. And it goes, "This was Gardashalan Primus, the last Briologos of the galaxy and devourer of Rancor, the sentient city. This is him now." And you see the doormat, big manta ray moss monster from outside, Gordo. "If I could do that to that, imagine what I'll do to you." As he nat 20s his will save.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Hekibino is gonna have to switch strategies here.
Yeah, it's got a high will save though. Again, on that particular case, in nat 20, regardless. So, that brings up Amu.
We have him restrained. Correct?
You do. You have him grappled.
Can we then jab him with said thing?
I will let you hand your capture pole over to someone nearby. We'll grab it as a reaction.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeet.
You have to drop your flamethrower.
Yeah, I'll drop it and hold on tight. Plant my heels.
I taught you to drop a flamethrower.
Actually, no. I'll use my prehensile tail and say, "Don't need a pseudopod," and hold it with my with that.
Okay, great. You know how dangerous that is. Okay, so Vangi holds it down with a capture pole. Amu, go for it. Make your attack. This time without a penalty.
All right. Brian didn't succeed, so I just got my base. So 21.
Yes. It is. It's been taking a couple of penalties because of your inhibitor and because it's grappled. So that hits, and you inject it with the obedience serum, and it goes, "Oh, darn." Oh well, back to work, I suppose. I guess it was too much to think that those corporate toads would release me. they do seem to hold such a grudge about whatever it was I did to whoever it was. Anyway, I better get back to work. These new chemical compounds aren't going to prepare themselves for marketing by themselves, after all.
Okay.
That
Have to be ready for third shift.
was fast acting.
I'll go look at Skritic.
I'll
Hey,
inject a powerful antivirus into the computer system.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you can give me one more computers check. It's not time sensitive, but jeez.
Fail. Yeah.
All right. So, you actually get locked out.
Great.
Nope. Nope.
I didn't want to be in there anyway.
Give me a will save as well, Bob.
A will save.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
14.
Okay. So, you will also take a little bit of damage from the psychic backlash of being kicked off. And by a little bit, I mean 28.
Oof. All right. I'm still good.
Tell me, was it Zox who sent you?
Why do you ask?
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling like giving you information.
All right.
Hey, Skritic, how you doing? He kind of grabbed onto you there for a sec.
I think I'm okay. I think I got the affected area out.
Did you rip out a chunk of your own skin?
Yeah.
That is hardcore.
It is.
I'm not
hardcore.
saying that you have to do that, but if you ever feel like doing that during a race,
Kind of a last resort thing.
yeah, no, I get it. Again, no pressure. Don't feel like management is pushing you to that. I'm just saying that's hardcore.
Anyone see a stapler around?
Like, look at
Well,
Amu.
maybe we should just let Amu have a look at it.
Why do you think it's Zox?
He's the assistant director of security incident management, so by my understanding, it would fall to him. I also particularly hate him, as he's helped keep me in this cube.
You are a walking security incident. That's for sure.
How did they manage to get you in this cube to begin with?
That is a great question.
That's an excellent question that unfortunately my obedience serum prohibits me from answering.
Of
Along with any other inconvenient question that I don't have written down.
That's fine. All right. Well, yeah. Let's get out of here, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So you guys walk. You exit. You exit the rectangle. There's Gordo there waiting for you. So guys, what was he mad?
Oh no. He says, in fact, that you've been doing a good job and you're due for a promotion. So, you can pick any patch of the cube to sit in, and you don't have to crush people anymore. You can just talk to them when they walk by.
Really?
That's right.
That's so much better. Thank you.
How big is Gordo?
He's size category huge.
He can't be a
You
pet.
can't sneak him on the ship, Rob.
Although it doesn't. I mean, go ahead. Anyway.
Wait, so you said, Gordo, that like part of you could be brought somewhere?
My conscious, my me only is in one place, but when the machines ate me, that place became here.
Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you.
And your place travel?
Yes.
How much of you has to go with it?
Most. No. I guess most of what's left. Most of all of me that is.
Well, that's a lot.
Amma will do the best puppy dog eyes that they can at a Hecubino.
There's no way.
We can't.
Amu, with you, make a life science check. This time you actually have to make it because you don't get your special biohacker on this.
Yeah, you're not identifying it.
Did the darn goo thing say it was like a world ender?
You think what it's trying to say is it needs. Think of it as the largest chunk of it that remains.
Yeah, you.
So if we cut part of it and then incinerated the rest of it, it would work.
That's what you think it's trying to convey.
So we could
like logically through life science. You're like, actually, with this sort of weird, amorphous, psychic plant creature, that might be true.
Pieces off of you, as long as the biggest part down to whatever the biggest part is.
Yes, I would always just be the big part. The big part would be me. Yeah.
Can we have a new assistant?
Would you prefer to be here as a big rug or to come live on a spaceship with Amu?
I don't know what a spaceship is, but I like Amu.
All right, Amu. You can keep him, but he's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Woo!
If he gets too big, we're gonna have a talk.
Yeah. Also, I don't know about invasive species and stuff, but it seems to me like if he goes off the ship and he lays root, it's going to be a problem somewhere else.
Yeah, he does seem to basically be a godlike plant.
I think only Hecubino knows that one.
He did call it like
finale.
That's true. He did call it Kardashian Prime.
Yeah.
I can bring that up. I was like, yeah, this
who ate a living city or something.
Yeah, this guy used to be a big deal, like a planet-wide big deal, and I don't know that he was particularly nice back in those days. So just be careful.
We will make sure.
Did we just finish a campaign all about the repercussions of our actions?
What repercussions?
Bad idea.
This is all going to work out just fine.
All right.
We're just trying to have the biggest team.
Those guys were trying to save the universe. These guys are literally just trying to get back to their day jobs.
It will all end in tears, I guarantee it.
Probably.
I got it. So you're telling me I have to write like an epic poem?
Yeah.
Or like an epic dirty limerick.
Yeah.
There once was a thingy named Gordo.
Oh, no. I'm not going to let you finish that. We are instead going to wrap there with you guys. We'll hand wave some of the logistics of chopping Gordo down to size, and you guys are ready to exit the cube and go back to the Jabubnins, get your corporate sponsorship, hopefully, and get off of this planet.
That sounds
Hopefully better
good.
not be doing a whole lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, because we just literally walked through HE double hockey sticks.
Well, and plus that whole scene would have been really sappy anyway. But that's where we're going to end it this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking out this episode of Critical Hit. Hope you're having as much fun as we're having. And just a reminder, Kevin is not on social media, but he sometimes shows up on the Major Spoilers Discord server. There's a link in the show notes. Go in and hang out in the Critical Hit channel. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are...
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.